Excuse me, sir. Sir, question for you. What is your net worth?
My net worth?
Yeah.
It's probably more than yours.
Give me a rate.
Look, this is, what would they say in this dating world? Charisma. This is the riz. What's your net worth is like, I'm sure it's more than yours, but let him continue. Let him cook.
How much is it?
It's healthy.
These are the people that you know have a lot of money because they just, you know when someone just underplays everything. So they ask him, what's his net worth? He says, surely it's more than yours. And let me just go back.
How much is it?
For a range. And he says,
It's healthy.
it's healthy. How much is it? More than yours. What's the range? It's in a healthy range.
How old were you when you made your first million?
22.
What were you doing at 22? Like, what was I doing at 22? Studying. Dang. This guy made his first million at 22. Put some things in perspective. There's some people really have, or start their journey quite early. And you're never late. However, it is to your advantage to start early. Sure, 22 million.
How did you make it that early?
So I graduated college. My best friend was in the construction business. I said, let's do a real estate company. We ended up buying a hotel at 22 years old.
How did you get the money to buy it?
At 22, this guy decides to jump into construction with a buddy of his. 2 points we can extract from that. Number one, take the leap of faith. It's risky, yes, but in business, I always say that it's either you win in terms of monetary success or you learn in terms of the lessons you would have gained from that experience. Number two, it is imperative to understand the people you surround yourself with determine your levels of success. This friend of his had a dream, or as a big dreamer, and he said, let's dive into this. We are buying hotels. And imagine at 22 walking into the bank and saying, I want to buy a hotel. Like, how much personal development or self-worth do you need to see within yourself to convince the bank of such? Let's continue. Maybe you didn't even use the bank. Let's see.
Tell that early.
So I figured out how to get $2.5 million. It was 150 room Sheraton International, and we flipped it 6 months later for 3.7.
So what business made?
Real estate is the business this guy is in, and he managed to flip the hotel he bought for 3.7 million at 22. This guy.
So what business made you the most money?
No, Wall Street. I'm a Wall Street guy.
So tell me this, what was the most amount of money that you made in a single year?
So in the tech boom, in 98 to 2000, I made $55 million in 18 months.
Is that net?
No, that's net.
What did you learn about money when you were on Wall
The
Street?
tech boom, this is what he did. This is what happened. He made $55 million. Now, some of you might say, well, the tech boom is over, but we have something else that we should be looking at, the boom of AI, the boom of social media, the boom of social marketing. That is something we should look into. Yes, the time of early internet is gone, long gone, but we're now at a phase where something else is emerging, and that's AI. The sooner you get your hands on AI, the skills on how to use AI, how to develop things, how to make life easier using AI, the better it will be. Like, you could be this guy sitting on selling something worth 55 million, you know?
Is that net?
No, that's net.
What did you learn about money when you were on Wall Street?
I learned how to make money. I learned how to invest. I make 63% a year in the stock market.
Investment. I think someone should name their kid investment. It's such an important thing. So much value that, you know, because it's commonly used, it's downplayed. But investment is one of the best things you'll ever do for yourself, for your future, for your kids, for your generation, for your lineage. Is invest. Let's see what he invests in. Take note. Well, this guy makes 63% a year on the stock market. 63% in the stock market. That is 6 times more than what banks generate for you. Whatever. Like if you were to put your money in the bank, you wouldn't even make 10% of that. Sheesh. What does he invest in?
How?
63%.
Most people make like 7.
People are lucky if they make 10 or 12, right? I make 63%.
So what's the one thing you're doing differently from everybody else?
Because I do things that everyone else doesn't do.
Number one, here's a golden nugget. Unconventional wisdom is true wisdom. I think I'm paraphrasing, but Dan Pena once said that. Because if it's common or conventional wisdom, everyone else would be doing it. So why isn't everyone else doing it? So clearly, there's a problem with conventional wisdom. Therefore, unconventional wisdom is the path to success.
Everyone chases the popular stocks. What I do is I buy deep value companies.
This is this guy's investment strategy. Investing in devalued companies, companies that are not as famous or as common.
By companies that are kind of like abandoned by Wall Street. I don't buy Wall Street stuff. I don't buy Netflix or Nvidia or Google or Apple.
Why?
It's all supply demand. The demand for Netflix and Nvidia and Google are very high. They're very expensive stocks. You could barely make money in them. He who runs with the herd gets slaughtered with the herd. But Wall Street is filled with...
I'm just going to backtrack. He who runs with the herd gets slaughtered with the herd. This is the sheep mentality that they talk about. Is you will follow and follow until one day you follow to your own demise. So he says he invests in devalued companies that aren't necessarily famous within the stock market, because the stock market figures are based on supply and demand. So if you buy a stock in Google, not saying you won't make money, you will make money, but at a lower price, as opposed to going into companies that are devalued with less value and having multiple of those to give you a bigger return. Smart.
But Wall Street is filled with a lot of stupid people because they buy high and buy higher, and they sell low and sell lower. There's an adage, when there's death and destruction, that's when you buy. When the ducks are quacking, that's when you feed them.
So there's this quote, I heard it from Game Card Goldie. Follow that guy. That guy has wisdom for days. So he basically says that he got it from someone else, Kevin Trudeau, I think. And Kevin Trudeau says, your mindset, or basically facts don't matter if your attitude is right. So the facts are the economy is doing poor, but guess what, a lot of people make money in the same economy. Remember when COVID hit, people were losing jobs, people were scared of, things were just looking, or things seem as if they're bad. But a lot of people actually became successful within that time frame. So what does that say about conventional wisdom? Conventional wisdom was saying, no, you need to save your money, you need to, don't invest in X, Y, and Z, don't start businesses, don't do that and the other. But people that started businesses in COVID grew. People that started social media in COVID exploded. All of these things happened when people were saying that it's a bad time to do certain things. I'm going to go back to things like AI. It's not too late to start in AI. Start in AI right now. I'm going to also allude to the fact that look beyond AI as well. Look for something that would come after AI. Once we've reached the phase where AI is the it thing, what comes next? Think in such a pattern, in such a way.